everybody. This is Dr. Kevin Connors again, and we are going to continue our discussion on specific detox pathways. And we're looking at your genetic report that I would send a patient. This is actually a practitioner report again, but your patient report is going to look very similar to this. And again, people ask me, well, how come I did my 23andMe? How come I don't see a report like this? Well, because you don't get a report like this from 23andMe. They give you thousands of gene profiles, whether you have defects or variants or not. And you need a software that's going to pull it all off there and look at those thousands of genetic profiles and put it into some sort of classification. So we're looking at your detoxification capacity, your ability to get out what's on the inside of you so that the negative things that you're exposed to don't become a part of you and affect you and cause bad things. So in the last video we talked about superoxide dismutase and catalase and how it works in the whole big scheme of things with the picture of superoxide dismutase here, and how it feeds down and along with glutathione gets rid of superoxide ion, which if you don't get rid of it, you cause peroxynitrate problems and will die. So you don't want that to happen. Your next pathway are the salt pathway. This is how you get rid of a lot of sulfate compounds, sulfur compounds, along with the CBS pathway. This person looks pretty good. He's got a number of defects in here, but nothing that is going to jump out and make me want to support it. By the way, with this, if this was a patient that I'm working with and they had this many SOD gene defects, this is serious. So is the catalase here. We'd definitely be supporting that, and I did not mention that in the last video. I probably wouldn't support the salt pathways, but we would be doing so indirectly because we're going to be supporting detox pathways with this person. So we would be indirectly supporting them. These nerve genes are really important genes. So there's more information coming out about these all the time. The nerve pathway is another antioxidant pathway in your body, and the nerve enzyme breaks down oxidants and gets rid of them intracellularly, and it's kept at bay by this gene right here, this KEAP1 gene. So this gene right here is a super important gene, because if I have a defect on this gene, I am not going to be able to release nerve, and this person here doesn't make nerve very well. That's these genes right here, and then they don't release it well at all. Having any defects on these KEAP pathways, to me, is a precursor for we need to support this, because they're going to have issues on this. They're going to end up with all sorts of long-term problems with a genetic picture like this. So this is definitely we are going to support this with a product called Nerve Accelerator that we use. This is not a good picture. So if yours looks anything like this, you definitely do not want to not take this. Very, very important to be supporting that pathway. The KEAP genes are super important. The cytochrome P450 genes are mainly in your liver, whereas these are in every cell. These are in every cell. The catalase and SOD genes are in every cell. Your cytochrome P450 genes are mainly in your liver. This is your primary liver detoxification pathway. Now, this person's are pretty good, but people that have a lot of problems with this gene right here, just let me state, if you have problems with any of these detoxification pathway genes, you're at a greater risk of toxicity from things that you're going to be exposed to on a daily basis. And this is where, if you want to get detailed into, okay, do vaccines cause autism? My argument is, okay, I'm not one to say that vaccines cause autism, but I'll tell you right now, if you use a vaccination which has a ton of different chemicals that are put in that vaccine called adjuvants that have to be detoxed through these pathways, and you put a bunch of adjuvants into a little 6-pound baby that has a bunch of nerve and KEAP defects, SALT defects, catalase SOD gene defects, more importantly the cytochrome P450 pathway and the PON1 pathway and the NAT1 and 2 pathway, if they have gene defects that look anything like this person, and you put that into a 6-pound baby that does not yet have a blood-brain barrier, you, you know, go ahead and play with fire. You're crazy. So there isn't anybody under the sun, I don't care how scientific you are or think you are, that can argue with me on this point. I'm not saying that vaccines cause autism. I'm saying you put any medication or vaccine or chemical exposure or lead or mercury into a child who does not yet have a blood-brain barrier that has a genetic picture that looks anything remotely like this person's, you're playing with fire. That's just straight science. So this is, okay, I'm an adult now. If this was me and my genetic picture, I'm not going to get any vaccines, and I've decided I don't get the flu shot. What are the things I should avoid? Well, you need to support these certain pathways. Personally, I would not support directly the cytochrome P450 pathway on this person. I would absolutely support the KEEP and the NERV pathway on this person. And I would absolutely support the PON pathway. The PON pathway right here is super important pathway. How you detoxify vaccines, pesticides, insecticides, large chemicals, large medications. Also the NAT pathways, the NAT1 and 2 genes support are how you detoxify those things. Very important. This person has a lot of defects on those. Regardless of whether they're taking any meds or not, you're exposed to pesticides and chemicals and additives and flavorings and colorings. I'm not doing any vaccines. Well, still, you're exposed to large chemicals, whether you like it or not. You really want to support these pathways. Remember, you are what you don't detoxify. If you can't get them out of your body and you're exposed to them some way, shape, and form, it is going to damage your cells. It's just, it is. So, do pesticides cause cancer? Well, if you can't get rid of it and it can get inside your cell and it can disrupt the replication cycle in the DNA, that's what cancer is. So there's no arguments here. They can. All those things can cause those problems. So quick overview on these detox pathways are you want to look for defects and you want to support those defects so that you support the function of that pathway so that pathway can work better. Because these defects weren't supposed to be there. All right, hope that helps. Dr. Kevin Connors again. Share this video if it helps you and share it with somebody else. If you have not had your genetic pathways done, go to our website and you can get this report for you and we can go over your details like this and scare the living daylights out of you. I hope not. But it's going to help you save your life so you don't get cancer and all that kind of stuff. All right. Thanks much. Bye-bye.